Starting on July 26, the world's top athletes will all gather in Paris for the 2024 Summer Olympic Games. Representing 206 countries, they aim to showcase their national pride and win medals that affirm their extraordinary strength, skills, speed, and dedication to testing the limits of what it means to be human. And Taiwan is home to many such exceptional athletes. They compete with each other for years and wait impatiently for a chance at what could be the pinnacle of their careers. They participate in competitions both at home and abroad, stick to strict and incredibly demanding training routines that push their physical strength to the human extreme, and repeat these routines the next day. But even after undergoing the incredibly hard physical and mental training that aim at pushing them to their peak performance, are they being given a fair chance to earn a place in the National Olympic team?
They do have some requirements, but it's not complete. And because it's not complete, it's not going to be fair, and it was not fair.
That was a retired swimmer describing Taiwan's Olympic athlete selection process. You're listening to The Divide. My name is Iris Xu. Today we're going to talk about the dark but open secrets of Taiwan's sports associations, where sportsmanship is almost nowhere to be found.
My name is Mitzi Ting. I am a former national swimmer from Taiwan. I'm currently not an athlete anymore, and I am in the United States, going to graduate school and running a swim school.
Mitzi Ting was once Taiwan's record holder of the women's 50-meter butterfly. On June 28th, almost exactly a month before the Olympic Games, Mitzi shared a post on her personal Facebook page accusing the Chinese Taipei Swimming Association of deliberately manipulating the selection process to favor some swimmers over the others.
It's been a long and very serious issue that the Taiwanese Swimming Association has never had a clear and correct process for athletes to follow. There's always something that they can change after competitions. There's always something that seems shady or can't be done under the table. And so this year, many athletes reached out to me privately just to share with me what's happening this year for the Olympic selection in Taiwan, because they're so afraid of speaking up themselves, because in the past, athletes who speak up or who question the selection process will later on be punished. And so some of these athletes reached out to me saying that there's this competition in Taiwan called the Zhongzheng Cup. And so that's one of the Olympic competitions or Olympic trial competitions in Taiwan. And so all of these Taiwanese swimmers were supposed to attend this Zhongzheng Cup to compete for the spot for Olympics. And then just a few weeks before that competition, the Taiwanese Swimming Association told a few athletes that I guess perhaps they favored, or whatever reason it is, they told a few athletes, not publicly, they did not post anything on their website, they just told them, just orally. And so they told them that because there's no one coming to this Zhongzheng Cup this year from another country, this competition cannot be counted. And so all of these athletes, worried that they're going to miss their opportunity for the Olympics, all flew to this competition in Hong Kong. And so there was another swimmer who is a Taiwanese athlete. However, she is attending college in the United States and has been training in the United States for a while. She's really good at swimming. She's probably one of the best in our country. So she also wants to represent Taiwan or Chinese Taipei in the Olympics this year. And so she flew back to Taiwan to attend the Zhongzheng Cup, not knowing that this competition may not be counted as one of the Olympic trial games. And so what happened was you see a bunch of Taiwanese swimmers flying over to Hong Kong to compete. And then her name is Angie Coe, or her last name COE. This swimmer called Angie just stayed in Taiwan to compete in this Zhongzheng Cup, not knowing that this may not be counted.
According to the Swimming Association, the Zhongzheng Cup, held from June 13th to June 17th, has been approved by the World Aquatics Office to be one of the competitions where swimmers can achieve the standard entry times or the Olympic qualification times and the Olympic consideration time for the Olympic Games of Paris 2024. In other words, swimmers who compete in this competition will acquire the World Aquatics points. And the World Aquatics points system allows comparison of results among different events, and is also one of the main criteria the Swimming Association considers for the Olympic selection. But after Mitzi shared the incident, an employee named Zhao Weihuan posted on his personal Facebook page denying that the Swimming Association was trying to rig the selection. Zhao said that the association had already shared the guidelines regarding the Zhongzheng Cup, stating that the results will only be taken into consideration if these results confirm the participation of swimmers from other countries in addition to Taiwanese swimmers. But if I were Angie Coe, would I know that there's no international swimmers that are going to participate in the Zhongzheng Cup, and that the results of this competition might not be counted towards the world's aquatics points, and make her less of a candidate for the Olympic selection.
And then so after knowing this information, I posted this story online. And then someone from the Swimming Association came onto my post to reply. And so this person from the Taiwanese Swimming Association said, after this swimmer, Angie, swam, they noticed that she had great times. She did a great job in this competition. And so later, after the competition, they reported it to the World Aquatics. So reported her times internationally. And so that's why this competition later on was counted as the Olympic game trial or the Olympic trial for Taiwan again. And then now she's selected as the Olympic swimmer, or the swimmer representing Chinese Taipei or Taiwan to the Paris Olympics this year.
Was there really no way for Angie Coe and other swimmers to know that there's no international participants in the Zhongzheng Cup, and therefore that this competition will not be counted?
No, because this was never posted. And I also learned from, I'm not really sure how accurate this information is, but this is the information that one of the swimmers from Taiwan told me. This swimmer said that the Swimming Association told this swimmer that there's always like a number of competitions each year for each country that can be used as qualifying games or qualifying competitions that does not require another athlete from another country to attend. So there's just lots of information that is really secretive. It was never open to public or open to athletes or even coaches to understand. And so there always seems to be some sort of space for people to hand adjust these selection process.
Something that Mitzi just said really caught my attention. She said, athletes who speak up or who question the selection process will later on be punished.
So the Swimming Association in Taiwan has lots of power over athletes. They are the people who can select athletes to attend international competitions. They are the people who have resources, as in money or as in training resources, and they can allocate these resources. They are the organization receiving funding from the government. They also have connections in multiple arenas, I would say. So some of them can alter the teacher selection, they can alter the coach selection. They have lots of, I would say that they can take over, or they are in control of an athlete's life.
They are in control of an athlete's life. Days after Mitzi shared the story, former supervisor of the Swimming Association, Sylvia Feng, posted on her Facebook, "Seeing the news exposed by Mitzi, I suddenly remembered that a few years ago I was actually serving as a supervisor for the Swimming Association. The first time I went to the board and supervisors meeting, a group of people ganged up on Tang Shengjie. At the time, he had joined the New Power Party and advocated for sports reform. One director after another verbally attacked him personally and mocked his political involvement. The long-entrenched chairman even said, 'What's the big deal if Tang Shenjie missed the Olympics because of the association's mistake? Which athlete hasn't experienced such things?' And unable to stand these people's vile behavior, I spoke out, pointing out that their attacks were akin to bullying, and immediately a burly man stood up and threatened me, looking like he was about to start a fight. It seemed as if we had walked into the wrong room. Then I was elected as a supervisor, and the chairman immediately stated that he wouldn't allow the supervisors to check the books. Oh my goodness, if I can't audit the accounts, what's the point of being a supervisor? Just to play house with them? And from then on, I stopped attending meetings and paying dues. I refused to meet with thugs." Sylvia Feng was the supervisor of the association in 2018. The elected chairman was a coach named Zeng Zhengzong, who now serves as the Secretary General of the Swimming Association. In 2019, the Swimming Association was discovered to have massively recruited dummy members and manipulated elections, forming a ballot stuffing alliance with other sports associations to mutually inflate votes. And 5 of the top officials from various associations were indicted by Taipei District Prosecutor's Office, including another former chairman of the association, Xu Dongxiong. However, Xu claimed innocence. But a former employee of the association and a student of Xu's contacted media outlets, accusing Xu of directing him to input the dummy data. He also implicated that the current Secretary General of the association, Zeng Zhenzong, as a co-conspirator. And due to the case, the former employee was given deferred prosecution and fined 50,000 NT dollars. Yet he states that both Xu and Zeng have completely ignored and distanced themselves from him, leaving him to bear a criminal record.
That does not surprise me. It's just how things are in these Taiwanese sports associations. And you know what? The swimmers also told me, like these swimmers who contacted me privately, they said that they're also really afraid of speaking out because they know that the chairman is from the mafia or is in the mafia. I guess they're afraid of their lives.
The mafia. Yes, you heard that right. A figure associated with the criminals and organized crime groups in central Taiwan currently serves as the chairman of the Chinese Taipei Swimming Association. He was a major arms criminal in the 90s, and starting in 1994, he was wanted by the Taichung, Kaohsiung, and Taipei district courts for involvement in robbery, kidnapping for ransom, firearms offenses, and obstruction of military service. Although the current chairman's past criminal records may not directly relate to the Olympics, they do underscore the significant courage and risks the athletes face when speaking up for themselves. But one of them did try. Yes, it was Mitzi.
So in 2017, Taipei was the hosting party for the university game. And so I was really hoping to represent Taiwan or represent Chinese Taipei to attend this game that was happening in our own country. And so I never learned the selection process. It was never openly shared. So I was always I just guessed that if I am one of the best swimmers, or if I am the best swimmer, then I will be selected for that event. And that did not happen. And so I made a video and I posted online. I made a YouTube video just explaining all of this to whoever. I mean, I didn't even know that people would watch it. I just wanted to get my word out there because this has just been happening for so long for throughout my entire swimming career in Taiwan. And so I don't know. I really do. To this day, I don't know why I was not part of the competition. There was no selection process, and I was not later added to the competition either. I mean, it made the news. It was a big deal back then, but I wasn't added to the competition. And to be honest, my point or my goal was not really to be added back to the competition. It's to share how this process is just damaging Taiwanese athletes. And it's just all these athletes have to compete in this unfair atmosphere. And it's devastating. And it's not, we're training so hard, and there's no way that we can train scientifically, or there's no way we can produce good results if there's not even a fair process that we can follow. Before I made this competition, I was in the process of joining an organization called Fair Game Taiwan. It's an organization trying to reform the Taiwan sports, and I've been openly making comments about how the Taiwan sports needed to be improved. And so I think maybe, this is my guess, I think maybe speaking out is something that the Taiwanese sports associations, I guess they don't want to see that. And they don't like athletes speaking out. They don't like people making waves. And so my guess was that I was punished for speaking out. And so I was not selected into the games, even if I was one of the fastest athletes.
Mitzi was punished by the Swimming Association for speaking out for herself. But that didn't stop her from doing it all over again for other athletes 7 years later. But does the public have her back this time?
So the reaction from the public is usually very, very positive. I think the Taiwan public understands that this is something that should be unacceptable. And they really do think, the Taiwan public really, they do think that sports should be fair. I think this is the bottom line. I did also receive some sort of backlash from the athlete that was supposed to be selected to the Olympic Games. That was the second place. And without, we don't know what was going to happen given now that Angie is going to the Olympics. Yeah. But say if this didn't happen, say if no one knew that Angie was going through something like this, the second place swimmer, whose coach is the Secretary General of the Taiwanese Swimming Association, posted something online, and just, I guess the main point of her post was to criticize me, saying that she is now part of this scandal because I mentioned her name in one of my posts, trying to explain the situation to the Taiwanese public. I feel sad seeing an athlete needing to post something like this to try to explain. Not having a fair process for athletes affects all athletes. It affects the first place, it affects the second place, it affects everyone in the game. You don't know when you're not going to be in favor. You don't know when this horrible thing is going to happen to you. Even if it never happens to you, the meaning of sports, one of the meanings of sports, bottom line, is to play on a fair level.
Thank you for listening. This episode of The Divide is produced by Radio Taiwan International.